Welcome to Distorted Realities. Here are your hosts, Jay Rock and Frank Walls. Remember, discuss the unknown and discover your truths.
Man, I love that song. Welcome to Distorted Realities. My name is Jay Rock, and alongside me is none other than Mr. Frank Walls, ladies and gentlemen.
What up, guys?
Episode 7. Episode 7.
Woo, I'm with the Meet the Legend, Mr. J. Raw.
Right here. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. UFOs are all the rave, right? They're of high importance lately.
They're everywhere in New Jersey. So
Yeah,
people
yeah.
from New Jersey, I mean, what's going on there? I mean,
So let's talk about it, right? At first, remember the government spotted UFOs and admitted that there's unidentified flying objects for those who don't know.
First they changed the name from UFO to what was UAPs?
UAPs.
Then
yeah.
then USOs.
Then USOs are unidentified submerged objects, which is underwater. And then you had
Another
the
drone.
Bayside. You had the Bayside event, which has been televised. And then now you have drones in New Jersey.
It is true they shoot one down or something like that.
Yes, they did. So for those of you who are interested in figuring this out, take a look at it and, tell us what you think. All right. So Distorted Realities, J Rock, Frank Walls, we're the host of the show. And basically what we do is we talk about cryptids, fantasy stuff, sci-fi, conspiracy theories, mythological tales, folklore, etc. We share it with you as we discover it, and you decide if it's true for you or not.
Exactly.
We're non-biased on everybody's ideals, thoughts, or beliefs because you are free to think any which way you want.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
love that. So
I heard they're from the size of an SUV.
yeah,
They're huge. Like a
flying vehicles. Back to the Future kind of
really?
Back to the Future kind of mentioned that years ago, right?
Wow. I heard something about it. What did they say? It's in Back to the Future. It says
Great Scott. No. It's a different saying. It's not from Back to the Future. It's an actual science fiction saying, and that is that science fiction eventually will become science fact. Right? So that's it for the show. The first things first. If you are a fan of Distorted Realities and you want to see the show and you want to support the show, please remember to like and subscribe and click on the bell notification icon. Again, like and subscribe, click on the bell notification icon.
Right
ding,
there,
ding,
right
ding,
there.
ding. Right? If not, you're going to get one of these.
you don't want that. You don't want
Bummer.
that.
All right. So yeah, if you have a story you want to share
Oh yeah.
and you're very anonymous, you don't want to be, you don't want your voice heard out there, you can shoot us an email, contact@thedistortedrealities.com, and we'll, hear you out. And if it's something that's deemed worthy of being part of the show, we'll air it, and of course with your permission, and we'll move forward with it.
Segundo part real quick. Si usted quiere compartir alguna de sus historias paranormales o fuera de lo normal que haya tenido, puede contactarnos a contact@distortedrealities.com, ¿ok? Y puede dejar un email ahí con su historia si no quiere participar llamando, o nos puede llamar vamos por ahí, al 904-803-7327, repito, 904-803-7327, y ahí serían vivos y estarían el canal en el aire, y si participa le damos una preciosa t-shirt como esta o una gorrita. Así que anímense a llamar en confianza. Aquí lo respetamos y cogemos las cosas en serio. Si nos cuenta su historia, puede ver otros videos como el de Sam, el de Vanessa, y ahí ya saben cómo es. Muchas gracias.
So, before we continue with the phone lines being open, if you are interested in the merch, like we're wearing the new merches. So this was the Mars Base Z. And of course, you see a little bit of highlight. That's due to the green screen. It doesn't like green. And the same thing with Frank. So you see he has the Sheep Squash shirt, but it looks very nice. It's very well fitted. It's good. We buy the stuff ourselves. And again, you can purchase it at https://distorted-realities-shop.printify.me. However, if you go to the YouTube link, the store link is there. You can go there and go there. Also, you can go to TikTok. It has the shop, but these shirts in specific are on the Printify shop. Unfortunately, TikTok won't sell these shirts. due to how long it takes to deliver.
Mhm.
And I think these shirts are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Coincidentally,
They make you look stronger and everything.
yeah.
They're
And
good
they
fit.
actually feel real soft,
Yeah.
which is good. Also, you can call us if you have, want to give us a shout out. You have a story to tell, or you just want free merch. Just call in 904-803-7327. After the show, we'll call you back, and then we'll send you some free merch, and we'll even let you pick one of the following items: a T-shirt, one of the cool ones, and you can check on the Printify shop. A coffee, Yeti, or Cocoa Blend.
Or these beautiful mugs that we have right here. You see?
Yeah. Or one of the hats, like the one Frank is wearing.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so that's pretty much it. But the numbers there, we are live now, so you can feel free to call in whenever you desire. And now we are going to speak about New Jersey,
Mhm,
right? New
mhm.
Jersey. So this thing is getting crazy, right? New
I have a friend from New Jersey. I don't know. I have to make contact with him to see if what's going on there. You know what I mean?
So what do you think is going to happen next week?
I don't know, because all these things made me think about the Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
Project Bluebeam.
Isn't that
and-
something? Project
Yeah.
Bluebeam.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, hey, you never know. I mean, maybe next week, we're gonna have somebody make contact. with
Yeah,
us.
that's all we need now. Yeah, I think that this is going sideways really fast, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think that the rumorville is stating that these are from foreign countries, drones from foreign countries.
Well, I know,
Now-
Iran had a lot of drone system development.
Yeah, the size of an SUV.
Well, they're big. They're like they have, because what happened was they knocked down a F-117. I think that's still a stealth plane. A stealth.
Really?
They knocked one of those planes, and I think one of the drones that we have that look like a smaller version of the B-2 Spirit,
Okay.
and they kind of clone that one, and they make one of their own, and they're like a size of a small car.
Wow.
I'm not
that's
saying it's
impressive.
them, but they do have that technology, you know.
So this is getting crazy. And for those of you who are out there in New Jersey, if it is happening, stay safe. Don't probe into things that you're not
Yeah.
able or facilitated with to take care of. And it's just a reminder of the times, right? These are stark, weird, dangerous, critical time. And it's unfortunate because we're at the holiday season and it's getting crazy.
Yeah. Imagine any country can put God forbid, like a bad bomb on one of those things.
Well, I don't like using those kind of words because they're negative in nature, and but you're absolutely right. Warfare is not just limited to spiritual. There's real war that happens, and there's real things that take place, and
yeah.
we want to hope for the best and hope that the worst never comes to pass.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
So, news Wednesday, Distorted Reality Special podcast. Mr. Valentine will be with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to
Nice.
talk about Christmas legends, the Krampus, the evil
Krampus.
elves. And we got a little story souped up ready for you guys. And then that Sunday will be the last week until we meet again the following year. Because we are going to have holiday season. I travel to Colombia, and then we're going to work on a project
Mhm.
with the ladies.
Yeah.
the women of Unearthly.
With the
So-
women of Unearthly, yeah.
So we're going to
Shout
be
out,
doing
shout
that.
out to Unearthly.
Yeah. And at this point, we need to take that break to get all our videos and all that stuff ironed out and move forward.
Oh yeah.
So, but I think that that's pretty much the case of what's going on. I think that at this point, the only thing left for us to do is say, hey, Mr. Valentine, tell us what are your 5 freakishly frightening facts?
Shout out to Valentine.
Greetings and salutations, friends. My name is Mr. Valentine, and welcome back to Mr. Valentine's 5 freakishly frightening facts. Let's begin. Fact number 1. spiders actually have clear blood. Think about that next time you step on them. Fact number 2. A mummy that is thousands of years old can still have fingerprints. Fact number 3. Scientists predict that a body submerged in deep water can become a skeleton in less than 4 days. It's down there. Fact number 4. There's a rogue black hole still in our galaxy. Fact number 5. In the 16th and 17th century, bandages were soaked in human fat to treat outside wounds. Where did they get all that fat from? Well, that's all from me, folks. J-Rock and Frank Walls, take it away. You guys will see me on the 18th for the next Distorted Reality special. See you then, guys.
All right, so that was a short one. Did see a hiccup there, but Mr. Valentine did what he does best, and yeah, they should fire the editing guy. But yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of things happening for the holidays. So what do you have planned for the holidays?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I don't even know. I mean, with the family. I mean, you know, with the family. I hope I'm gonna be off. I'm gonna have a long weekend, and just with the family
Okay.
time. You know,
Good.
I haven't bought the presents yet.
Gotcha.
I need to. Yeah.
Well, no, Santa hasn't gotten the.
Yeah. Santa, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we go to the first segment, which is our cryptid segment, and go from there. So you want to cue them up to cryptid discoveries?
Let's head to the cryptid discovery, guys.
All right. So cryptid discoveries. What is it? Well, it's cryptids. What are cryptids? Well, they're animals or species of animals or creatures that have been rumored or talked about in mythological stories, folklore. Some of them did exist and became extinct and then made a resurgence out of nowhere, like
Sure.
the phoenix rising from the ashes. We like to talk about them, and we think that it's a full discussion piece, and we use the power of AI to create the creature again.
And the RIT department, shout out to them. They're doing an amazing
Yes.
job. The AIs are getting better and better. We got a team of like 20 people working behind scenes. We really appreciate that. And Jose Otero is one of the leads teams on that department.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing really great. Thank you to you guys.
Yeah. So this time the cryptids are different.
We
Right.
have can I say the name?
Sure, say it.
Is Xiangqi Yu. Xiangqi Yu. Xiangqi Yu.
So it's from China.
There you go.
Xiangfu Ziyu.
Bing Chilling.
Yep, being chilling. So this was a very interesting cryptid, right? Because it is a boar with some features of a carp or a fish,
Wow.
right? I never thought I'd see a boar fish ever combined, but AI did a pretty decent job. It was very hard to tackle.
Yeah.
So what do we know about it? It's a mythical animal from China. So very few people, if none, have ever seen it. This has just been documented in stories and folklore, but I thought it was very interesting nonetheless. Head of a carp, body of a boar. Some say it's the reverse. Others say that they're just an amalgamation of body parts that exists with it. No real sightings.
No?
No real sightings, but it would be an interesting find.
I got this is what I was able to find. This is from Deviant Art.
Deviant.
There you go.
Deviant Art.
His name is Xiangfu Qiyu, origin from China. It says that the Xiangfu Qiyu, possible father fish or parent fish, is a creature that appears in the ancient Chinese text, the Shanghai Jing, or the classic of mountains and seas. a classical compilation of mythical flora and fauna from Pre-Qing Dynasty, 221-206 BC, China. The Xianfu Siju is said to have the well in the Yellow River, and its form resembles that of a carp with the body of a wild pig. Eating the meat of this creature is said to cure vomiting, and intestine comparison can be made with the Chinese finless purpose, to which it has been nicknamed the river pig. Wow.
Wow. So I found something different. This particular species is so mythological that if you're of noble heart
Mm-hmm.
and you are near its presence, you will be granted with good fortune.
Oh, wow.
However, if you are not, you will become its food.
Oh.
So that's kind of like the nomenclature for this particular.
And it's kind of scary because, there's no, like, if you encounter that creature in the woods or whatever next to a lake, there's no escaping from it. You know what I mean?
No. that
Because if
thing-
you jump to the water, he's gonna get you. If you're outside, those wild hogs,
they run fast.
yeah, and they're vicious. They're,
Yeah, I
can
think
kill you.
it's an interesting. I wondered, boar is just a wild form of a pig.
mm-hmm.
Would it, if it, being Hispanic, if we cook it, and Neil, would it
Wow.
be more like a fish or more like pork?
It will be like a mix between the both, right? Like in Puerto Rico,
I just threw a curveball at you, huh?
yeah. In Puerto Rico, we do the pavochon. That is turkey that tastes like pork.
Really?
The way they do it, yeah.
Would they stuff it with pork or something?
I don't know. I think this is the way.
Does the
they-
skin crackle the same way the pig skin does? Pork rinds?
Yeah, but hey,
Fish rinds. That's what they gotta call it. There you go. But no, it's very interesting species. Do I believe it? Not at all.
no,
Not at all.
come on.
Nah, this is one of those. This is what a mad scientist creates in their mind and fails every time they try.
This is like the Simpsons three-eye fish.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I don't believe it. I think it's a good story. This is like saying unicorn, and even the unicorn is more believable.
No, what does he call the rabbit
The
with-
jackalope.
with the antlers?
Jackalope.
There you go.
Yeah, so even that's more believable. You know what I mean? So for me personally, this is where it needs to say a mythological story of a creature that can imbue people with good fortune. If not, it'll become its greatest feast ever. And it needs to stay there because it's not believable at all. Now, it looks believable on AI because with AI, you can do a great deal. But I don't think
No, okay. I think
don't-
I'm with you. I think I don't know. There's something fishy there.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's funny. That was funny.
I wonder what they call chuleta cancan when you use it with that board.
It will be on the fish market section or the meat section.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. But yeah, so all in all, it's a great creature. It's a great storytelling creature. I don't think it's real. It's not a Bigfoot. It's not a chupacabra, Puerto Rican version, right? But yeah, I don't think it is.
We got Lillian in the chat. Shout
Hi,
out to
Lillian.
Lillian. Shout out.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it, and I think we should just move along and go with the AI video. So without further ado, we'll continue.
To watch the Xiangfu Yu.
I see you.
Jiangfu, CU. Tales of the mythological creatures have been told throughout time, none more elusive than the Jiangfu, ZU. This creature's origins lies within the rivers and lake beds in China. Said to be described as a wild boar with the head of a carp. The legend is that those with a noble heart who encounter it will be blessed with great fortune, while those with a bad one will meet a swift end. This cryptid is akin to legends and folklore, No reports of sightings have been conducted, as this creature may be the most elusive one yet. Hope you are of noble heart, or this young fool see you will make a meal out of you.
All right, so that's it for Xiang Fu Si Yu. However, ya te veo.
Ya te veo.
So this one was interesting. The name was hilarious for me, but
Mira que te veo. Hay un programa, hay un programa.
so this one is interesting, right? It's a carnivorous tree from South America, has attempted to even eat humans, and the natives of the land in South America that experience this specific tree fear it.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, just so you know, there's a lot of legends about trees being cannibalistic. We know that there are plants that are cannibalistic, right? But they feed on insects. For something of
Like the,
magnitude to eat a human has to be huge.
what is the name? Venus?
The Venus flytrap.
flytrap.
And there's
Yeah.
more plants than that. That's
Mhm.
just the one majority of people know.
What was that movie? There was one in the movie.
Oh, Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me. Come on, Seymour. Yeah, that's Little Shop of Horrors, and it was a great movie with what was his name?
That was a Venus trap?
That was a I don't know. It was supposed to be a Venus flytrap, but it's something else. It was an alien,
Alien.
from what I remember. But yeah, it was with Rick Moranis. That was the movie, and it was great. But yeah, so this tree needs to feed, and this was very hard to like digest because I remember the movie Evil Dead,
Mm-hmm.
and the tree, it's like possessed, and it grabs, and that's what I was thinking in my head. I don't believe it either.
No?
No, what do you have? Convince me otherwise.
Well, I've seen videos internet. There's like trees moving. Stuff like that. You never know. There's a lot of forests that people haven't like, check it out completely yet. You know what I mean? So we don't know. But this is what I have so far. It says Yateveo is a famous carnivorous tree found in South America with a more famous African cousin. So he has an African cousin. And
They even have cousins?
yeah. Yeah. They're not normal trees,
No, they're related.
He said plant sets to catch and consume large insects, but also attempts to consume humans. It says the Yateveo is said to be a carnivorous plant that grows in part of Central and South America with cousin in Africa on the shores of the Indian Ocean. There are many different descriptions of the plant, but most reports says it has a short, thick trunk and long tendril-like appendages, which are used to catch prey. Some even claim it has an eye to locate its prey. Wow. So it has eyes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So mine said it had a face carved in. My research, and yeah, about the same thing. Outside of the eye, I didn't even know about the eye. I know about the face being carved in. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I know since I was a kid, I've been watching these cartoons, and they always have like tree with a face. You know what I mean, in the forest, and so maybe that came from somewhere. You know?
So I'll tell you what. I will not I will not say 100% I believe it, but I would say it might be a species of tree that only resides like in the Amazon rainforest.
Could be.
That nobody, because you know how many
Yeah.
creatures they've discovered.
A species. Yeah.
It could be a species of plant or arboreal tree that maybe does need to feed on blood and it does not live off of photosynthesis, which is what most plants.
Could be. I
do.
got this fact.
The
over
power of the
here.
sun, by the way.
It says the native fear it. If it had bad omens on, and was thought to be the work of evil witch doctor magic. In 1981, intrepid explorer Carl Leach told the tale of a terrible tree, the Yateveo, that will feast upon the Modoc tribe in Madagascar. The German gave a gruesome account of his encounter as the plant blubbered on a filly. Blubbered on a filly. Yeah, weird word. Yeah,
That's something.
that's
so,
something.
but yeah, so I'm just gonna say it's possible. I don't think it's the way they depict it. Maybe it's a small plant with a lot of tendrils that actually move around and probably feed on smaller animals.
But you know, in the sea, because okay, it's hard to believe in the land to see that. But when we go to the sea, we got the I don't know how if in English is anemona, the anemona,
Anemones.
anemones.
Yeah.
You know, those are little plants that move like that, and they catch their fish and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you never know. I mean, you really never know. I mean,
Give me 1 second. I have to send a message.
yep. And it's very interesting because, like you said, there's some areas here that haven't been explored yet. So maybe it's a species of tree that we don't know.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't know. It's with so many trees that have passed by, none of them have ever attempted to attack me. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
but you have to.
Can you imagine this? Just think about this.
A movie that's gonna scare the living trees out of you. Trees, the movie. They come and feast on your blood with their leaves, branches, and roots.
Doesn't work.
I got. If you want to do a movie like that, I got the plot already. It already came on my mind.
What's the plot?
Okay, this guy go to the Amazon and he discover a special type of tree, bring it back home, plant it on his house, and then he spread all over the town.
Yeah, there's a movie already like that.
Which one?
The ruins.
There you go.
Sorry. Anything that you could think of has probably been made already. Yeah, no. So the ruins are like that, right?
Wow.
It's like the species of plant that is all over the town, but it's really connected to like a pyramid.
But did they eat people?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
They kill the people and then they like they
So no movie,
invade
no
the
movie.
body. Yeah, no movie. So, but yeah,
Trees, movie.
like I don't know, it doesn't work for me. But yeah, so without further ado, let's go into Ya Te Veo, which is another funny part, right? The name, I see you.
I see you.
In Spanish, that's what it means.
Mira que te veo.
But yeah, so without further ado, Ya Te Veo.
Ya te veo. Nature is plentiful and abundant, providing us with oxygen, fruits, and vegetables. However, nature also takes, and it does in blood. Ya te veo is a dangerous tree that feeds on the blood of humans, located in the forests and wooded areas of South America. This tree has been reported by many to move around and wait for its next meal. The Ya te veo is described as a tall tree with many branches and exposed roots. Allegedly, a face can be seen on the center of the tree. The branches can move independently, like tentacles of an octopus. The natives are fearful of this tree and is considered to be a bad omen. Be careful when roaming the forest of South America, because your luck may run out.
Right, so that concluded our segment for cryptid discoveries, and now we're gonna move on. But before we continue, what do you think about those two cryptids?
I think I don't know why I think the tree is more believable than the fish one.
Do you imagine we go hiking one day and we
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
you find a board with a fish's face. You go, what the heck? But yeah, I thought today that we take these cryptids, right, and we present them and we do the best we can to find stuff that is out of the box, right?
Mhm.
I personally like local legend cryptids because these are things people can, they get into and they
Relate.
testify
Yeah.
about it, right? Versus these big mythological stuff that is known all over the world. Sometimes we hit it, sometimes we miss it. I think this week it was a miss for the Xiangfu Xiyu.
You.
And Yateveo was okay,
They're
but
both seeing you. See you.
yeah, Yateveo, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I think the cryptids were a little bummed out, but I have the solution.
But
We have to go to the outer space in order to find it.
we have to. We have to.
We have to go in search.
Before we go to outer space, I want to shout out Jacob Castro in the chat. Jacob, if you're watching,
Hey, Jacob.
I know you're in the New Jersey area. Give us a call to see if you have seen one of those drones / UFO, USO, UAP, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
You could let us know. Yeah, so we're gonna go in search.
We're gonna search for aliens.
In search of aliens, folks. So we're jumping right into it, and we'll see you in a second. All right, so here we are in search of aliens. So what is it? Well, we're searching for aliens. No, here's what it is. We got our hands on a book that has information about a whole bunch of alien species. And now there's a big war intergalactically with two different races. Well, two different races that have a series of sub-races that take an allegiance to one side. One is the Council of Five, the protectors of the earth, the good guys, the ones that want to fight for us and protect the human race, versus the race Ratra, evil, bad. And what they want to do? They want to enslave us. They want to use us. They want to be cannibalistic and eat us and all kinds of bad stuff. So we go over two different alien species each time. Sometimes we'll find a race that is part of the book, but they have no affiliations or the allegiance is unknown, right? We are winding down. We've covered most of them, so we
Yeah.
only have a few left. We should have them all knocked out by the end of the season. However, once the new season kicks in, we're going to bring something quite amazing.
Like we always do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Telemundo part. We're gonna go. Vamos a ir al área de los buscando extraterrestres. Se llama el segmento o alienígenas. Ya habíamos discutido anteriormente que lo que nos dedicamos es a seguir un libro el cual nos dice todas las razas de alienígenas que existen y que han visitado la Tierra en algún momento. Estas razas son varias, muchas, pero entonces hay dos que son las principales. Una se llama el Consejo de los Cinco, que son los que vienen siendo como las razas alienígenas buenas que quieren proteger la humanidad y preservarla. Y lo otro, la raza maligna, se llama la Mitra, que son los que quieren abusar de los humanos, usarlos para experimentos, comérselos, etcétera, etcétera, etcétera. So, siempre estamos recopilando dos tipos de razas de el libro como tal y la compartimos con ustedes. No siempre son buenas, no siempre son malas, pero algunas son asociadas al Council of Fire, otras a la raza Mitra y hay otras que están por la libre, como uno dice.
Yeah, they come in and hang out. They pass by and say, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And they just leave.
Vamos a
Maybe
hablar
those are the guys
sobre-
in the drones from
Maybe,
Jersey. They're just passing by.
maybe.
So yeah. So without further ado, the first one.
Maybe they're visiting their family for Christmas.
That's it. They're handing
That's
out
what they're
gifts.
doing.
They're doing what they call that, Chris Kringle.
What happened is Santa Claus decided not to do it himself, and he got drones now. And you imagine that, right?
Can you imagine
They're
that?
killing Christmas.
Yeah, for real. So the first alien is the Mythile. I love this alien.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not a lot is known about it, but I love the way they described it, the way it looks. Constellation Serpis, star Auya, right? Often seen in the woods or in Antarctica, which is weird because they're polarizing locations, right? Last sighted Antarctica, May 1st, 1997. There are some interesting facts about it because they usually think that it's a reptilian. However, it's not. But we'll digress. Go ahead and
They're more like vampires, right? Like they got fangs and everything.
well, in the imagery, they remember those images are not accurate depictions.
Accurate depictions.
Yeah, they're just what the person presents them
Gotcha.
to be.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead.
It says once related to the reptoid species, so they're kind of related to this.
Read it.
They are not, however, reptilians.
There you have it.
There you go. So, but they're related, right?
They're
Okay.
not.
They're not.
They're
Okay.
not.
One. Okay. So people thought they were
Yeah.
confusing them.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, gotcha. They come from the constellation Serpent Star Alga, right?
Mhm.
First visited Earth was only in June 13, 1965. They do not represent any threat to humans. Often seen around Antarctica. The reason for their visits unknown. Last sighted in Antarctica in 1997. That's not that long ago.
No, it isn't.
Um,
In relations to the history of the world,
yeah.
and in relations to us,
And from the other species, like I think this is the most other ones is like in the 70s. You know, what I mean?
Yeah.
This is 1997, so
yeah.
I don't know.
So I think this species is a very interesting one because when I started digging deeper,
Mm-hmm.
the reports indicate that they're a hunter class type species. They forage for plants and animals.
Kind of like predators.
Yeah, almost like predator. Yeah, exactly. Like they hunt. The
Wow.
thrill of the hunt. Then you also have the fact that they're not related to reptilians, but have some semblance. This is one of those weird species that it just caught my attention. I wish I knew what their allegiance was,
Wow.
because they would make a good council member, but an even better Matra member.
I think they will be more close to Mitra because if they come here to collect and gather and hunt, you know what I mean? That means that
They gotta
you know,
eat.
Well,
That's what it means. It doesn't mean they're bad. It means, I mean, we hunt.
maybe they like to eat organic.
Well, that's, they could always go to Aldi. Right? Guys, you don't have to go forage
Is
anymore.
Aldi organic? company?
Yeah, of course. No, they have a lot of organic
Organic
stuff there.
stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Shout out
think,
to Aldi.
yeah, what up, Aldi's?
I heard they're Germans. Is that true? It's like a German.
I thought it was Swedish.
Swedish?
But hey, listen, it doesn't matter. Their food is pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially their kettle chips.
It's and the prices are really good.
Yeah, they're pretty decent. So I like this race. I think this race is awesome.
Yeah. I like the AI. The AI looks
Yeah, this
scary.
This one was really fun. By the way, I took the liberty of using AI tools, and I made a discovery for those of you who are interested in doing this stuff. AI is booming, and so is the cost. So I had a big argument with one of the developers because you pay a full subscription for all the tools, and then they tell you, well, that feature is no longer available because they upgraded the tiers.
Oh no. That's
And they
crazy.
remove the feature. So there's a lot of unethical practices in the AI community, especially if you're a paying top tier customer. If you're like a standard user, I don't have a problem. You pay extra for whatever features you want. But if you're already a pro member, they literally created something called Fancy
Wow.
and removed the features that I was using.
That's crazy.
I was so upset. I mean, I ripped them. But the good news is people are waking up and they're doing a lot of lawsuits. So for those of you who are AI developers, bear in mind, we appreciate the tools, but don't try to, do a cash grab
Yeah.
and change things up on us. One, without proper notification, and two, make sure that, consider the people that you're doing this to, because a lot of them, are average Joes.
No
you know?
bueno. That's no bueno, man.
It's not good practice.
That's
You
not.
know, it's very, very not good practice. But
There's
anyway,
no honor. No honor.
no honor amongst thieves.
There you go.
So yeah. So without further ado, I know you're gonna enjoy it because I sure did. The Mythale.
Mythale.
The Mythale. Not much is known about this species. They were once related to the reptoid species. They are not, however, reptilians. They come from the constellation Serpis, star Alya. First visit to Earth was only in June 13, 1965. They do not represent any threat to humans. They are often seen around Antarctica and wooded areas. Their reasons for their visits are unknown. Their last sighting was in Antarctica, May 1st, 1997.
All right, folks, that was the Mythale. And what do you think about the video?
Beautiful video, beautiful. The AI is getting, like I said, better and better.
Yeah, sometimes it
And,
gets too real.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, but I think the prize between the cryptids and the aliens goes to this guy, the reptilians.
Oh,
Yeah, the reptilians are like everything in alien mythology.
what
And
can we say about them? There's so much that we can say about them. It's insane. Like we got David Icke with all his books and documentaries and everything. He's a fan of them. You know what I mean?
But let's talk about it because we have a lot to say about
A
this
lot
book.
to say.
All right, so Constellation Draco, not to be confused with the slang term gun. Draco, as in dragon. All right, at least 3 different species exist of reptilian, and that does not include the Mythale because they're not a reptilian race.
Gotcha.
Right? Last sighted all the time. People report this damn species everywhere.
Wow.
Everywhere in caves. They're considered harmful. What's the name of that guy that lost his fingers?
Oh my God, I don't.
Wow. So there's
There's a big story. That's a big story.
there's a big story, and a guy did an interview. Eventually, they found him.
We should do something in the program regarding that whole, because that's
That's his own 1 hour segment.
yeah, that's a whole.
So this
program.
guy, he used to work under contract, and he worked in Dulce, New Mexico.
with the government,
With the government, they were developing, I guess, a top secret
underground
base.
bunkers with
Right.
facilities and stuff.
And as they dug in, he went and they encountered alien species, and they were like reptilian in nature. They zapped them with some kind of blaster.
They had some blasters.
He
Yeah,
lost his fingers. He's over here reenacting everything. He went on conference, spoke about it. The works. This is all on YouTube.
he was missing
Look it
fingers
up.
and everything.
Yeah. He even had scars,
Yeah.
burn scars from what happened. But the long and short was they found them unalived.
You know, on a life.
Yeah.
Like they
after
always-
he did all of that, and
Like it always happened, you know.
yeah. They tell a story and they're gone.
Mhm.
So why do I find this interesting? Well, historically, there's a lot going on with the reptilian race. One, they've been depicted in ancient carvings and paintings and mosaics, right? Two, there's an unclear definition of what their intention is because there's too many different variations or species of them. Some of them are called alpha draconians.
Oh, yeah.
They have this organic crown, and they have a long tail. They look very muscular. Then you have some that are very slender, very intelligent. They do have telekinetic power or telepathic power, and they can transform, which led to the idea, right, that these people are inside of government,
Mhm.
disguised, and
That's the thing. That's why I heard that they are how you call infiltrate in our
Yeah.
higher ups in the government, deep state, all that stuff, and they're
Yeah.
controlling. They're
So-
the ones. They're the puppet masters.
And guess what?
Hmm.
Rumor has it that they're the creators of the Illuminati.
There you go.
Yeah. The all-seeing eye. The Rock is
Mhm.
Jay-Z. Oh, he's in trouble. So yeah. So there's a lot going on with this species. So what fascinates you about this species?
Well, the things that I have heard about these creatures, a lot of stuff come from David Icke and his documentaries, or Timothy Alvarino. You know, they always talk about like they are the one, like the puppet master behind the scenes, controlling everything. Like they're not good at all. They don't want the good for humanity. You know, they're pretty much like an invasive species. You know what I mean? Like they want to control us. They want to. Sometimes they can disguise like humans. I heard. You know what I mean?
And you've seen the videos.
Yeah.
There's videos
There's a lot of
roaming
videos.
around of people on like interviews,
Yeah.
Celebrities, and their eyes
Glitching.
glitching like reptilians, or
how
their
you-
skin,
Yeah.
getting pigmented into like a reptilian type skin.
Mhm.
But more importantly, the movie V,
The TV series,
right?
yeah.
Like it's
I
funny.
was gonna go to that.
Yeah, it's so crazy how this species is so responsible for a lot of what we know as alien movies or alien related ideas or concepts. Most aliens in video games or in horror movies, they look reptilian in nature. They do not look like grays.
I used to watch that. I was in elementary school, I think, when V came out.
Oh, wasn't it great?
I was shitting on my pants, bro. I was scary.
You remember the part when his skin came off on one side?
Yeah,
And
when
then
the
I was
lady
like, oh.
when the lady ate the mouse. They used to have mouse, and she opened
Yeah.
her mouth and put a mouse in her mouth.
That's something.
And I was like, "What?" No, it was scary.
Yeah, I think that was a very interesting movie, but there's so much going on with it, and I think that this is out of all the things that we've spoke about today, the mythology and the reptilians are the most believable, more than the cryptids. And typically, we lean more towards cryptids, right?
Yeah.
But this is believable only because of everything that's going on. You have UFOs, USOs, UAPs, drones. You know, you have hundreds and thousands of abduction stories that are reported. You have Project Blue Book, Project Blue Beam. You have so many different books that tell about these things that it's starting to become more and more believable.
Well, the government finally talking about it when we passed an entire decade or more denying it. You know what I mean? Now they're
it's
talking
more important
about
than government because remember, this is a twofold process. Vatican has accepted and has publicly spoken about the fact that there is possibility of life beyond our planet. What's anything beyond our planet? What do we call it? An alien. Right? Or
extraterrestrial.
well, exactly, but it's an alien. It's alien to us.
Exactly.
Right. So I think this is great. I love this. I believe this. Do I believe it as I see it in AI? Probably not. Probably looks more animalistic, but the idea is there. The historical footprint is there. And the movies are there because they're
Oh
great.
yeah, there's a lot of movies about it.
And yeah, so I think that this is very real to me.
I'm with you. I'm with you on it. It's kind of scary. All the stuff that I've heard about it, like they live in caves, they eat humans, they hate and ate humans. Like it's like that bad. You know what I mean? And wow, it's deep. It's deep. You can find a lot of stuff in the internet and about it, and it's very scary if you think about it. What happened if it's true? We're screwed. If it's true.
I mean, if it's true and they've been here for years, because I think it's like 1,500 years or 15,000 years. What else can we assume? I mean, and mind you, that's a thought. People think that they've been here longer.
Yeah.
And the historical footprint shows that there's things that predate even Jesus.
They're saying that since Adam and Eve, that the serpent was a reptilian. There's sometimes they say stuff like that, so you never know.
Yeah. So you have anybody on YouTube?
Real quick. We got Jacob Castro, New York, but no, I haven't seen anything yet. Sadly, not even near Fort Drum. So he hasn't seen nothing yet. Oh, I saw my contacts over there of the north. My contact of the north.
So yeah, so I think at this point it's time for us to play the video. And I think you're gonna be excited. Music for this video was like primo.
Who's the author of the music?
J-Rock.
Oh,
J-Rock. This is a J-Rock exclusive.
Exclusive.
This is a J-Rock. Where is it? Hold on. Here's a J-Rock exclusive, folks. Hot 97. back in the days. But yeah, so let's check it out. On to the reptilians.
The reptilians. The most known and feared of the reptoid species. There are at least 3. They have been permanently on Earth for over 15,000 years. But the belief is that they may have been here permanently on and off for millions of years. They come from the constellation Draco. They are believed to be the original creators of the Illuminati. They can shapeshift and use telepathy to control humans. Some consider them friendly, others consider them cannibalistic monsters. It all depends on the location you're in and what race you encounter. Hope that your encounter with the species is a friendly one, or you might be its next meal.
And that concluded our In Search of Aliens video. And there goes Rambo, the Hound of Hell, torturing everyone that walks around the window. Yeah, so there he goes. I guess he got shocked. Interesting, right? The whole alien debacle.
Yeah. I like the scene where he's dressed like with the suit.
He's a politician.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my dagger at V.
You saw that video that there's like a politician talking and behind them
There's a
like
guy and he's like
Yeah.
adjusting what appears to be like a mask.
There's
when he
another one
pulls-
that the lady is like saying word by word what the person's saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are weird things that I don't know.
Yeah. Well, from the cryptids to the aliens to now paranormal.
Paranormal.
So let's go to the paranormal reviews. Right, this is all yours. Paranormal segment. What is it all about?
The paranormal segment. We're gonna talk about the thrones, the angels.
No. Paranormal.
Oh, the paranormal.
Ghost.
Ghosts.
What is paranormal?
Yeah. Everything that's not normal, abnormal, or not normal.
All right, so this is what we do. We review videos that we find on the interwebs, aka TikTok, and we share them with you. Some of it is believable, some of it is not. We do cite who we get it from after we play the video, so that way, if you're interested, you can go to their channel on TikTok and subscribe to the channel or follow, if that's the proper term. All right, so without further ado, we'll watch the first video and we'll share our thoughts.
Penampakan jin di Arab. Di salah satu goa.
So that was from at Mecca.store too. So these are different type of ghostly entities referred to as the jinn.
The jinns.
Right. So jinns are very interesting ghostly apparitions that appear in the Arabic continent. It looks like the guy, they were speaking in their language, the guy was possessed because there was a jinn there. It's very different from what we Americans do. So this is, I did learn, there's a guy named Ahab Kismaye, right? And he's a ghost hunter in Arabia, I guess is the proper term.
Salam alaikum.
The whole thing is that he goes out there and he hunts in these places where they're jinns, right? And it ends up being that they're supposed to, in prayer, speak. And when the ghost presents itself, instead of panicking, they run towards it.
Wow.
And us Puerto Ricans, we run away from it.
Wow. Yeah.
Or Americans, we run away from it. We don't do that unless we're professional ghost hunters. But it makes an interesting case. It's a jinn. Jinns are depicted very differently. And they have reported sightings and videos about this abroad. So we thought we'd share one. I did like the video.
They're demons. I heard
And
demons.
the fact that he knocked the guy out, it looks like the guy was in a trance or possessed
Mm-hmm.
by the jinn that was hiding in the cave. And the gentleman is doing a prayer, and then he knocks the guy and pushes him off, like to get him, his focus away or whatever.
That's where the word genie comes. Genie, it comes from genie.
Jinn, yeah. All right, video number 2.
Ah, no mames,
¿Qué?
pasó algo.
¿Qué pasó? No mames.
A ver, ven. No mames, pasó algo, te lo juro que pasó algo,
Se mueve, ya se mueve.
Vete a la verga.
Yo no voy.
No mames.
Nobody was gonna catch her after that.
Y iba.
We're volando. So that was from Paranormal Tarot Chick. And basically it's a depiction of a Mexican nurse that's at a Mexican hospital. I'm assuming she's Mexican, so I apologize, but a nurse in a hospital in Mexico. And apparently in the background, you can see where the doors are. There's these openings where they can see a person pass by. There shouldn't be nobody there. It looks like what appears to be an operating room. And when they go in, there's nobody there. And then the furniture moves.
No, that was scary. I mean,
And then she bolts. And that's why we laughed, because we never saw somebody respond to it and just, that quickly said, no.
I would have done the
So-
same. I would
So
think.
that one was interesting.
Yeah.
And it was very small, but to the point. So I liked it. Number 3.
It's around 9 p.m. on a Friday night when two sisters are settling in for the evening. During this time, their mom had gone out to walk their dog as she does every night. But while both sisters are alone at home, something happens that leaves them extremely unsettled. Now, the mother in question, known as Isabel Katz, had sent me this video in the hopes that someone could explain her footage. She and her kids live in a house that might be haunted, according to her. Strange things often happen, and she doesn't know what to do. From a sliding cabinet door that is often found open after being closed shut, to mysterious noises heard at night, Isabel is certain that something unexplainable is happening. One night, while Isabel walks the family dog, her two children are alone at home when this is captured. It was after watching this video that their mother knew something paranormal had occurred. At first, one of her children sees something that terrifies them beyond belief. According to her, she had seen what looked like a tall figure standing inside the master bedroom. It wasn't exactly clear, as her daughter states, but she knew something was there, and her sister can attest to this, as she too had seen something tall inside the room. Following that, the sound of their cabinet door sliding open is heard on camera. Understandably, the whole family was freaked out, if not spooked, by this incident. Not much else is known about this clip, but Isabel hopes that someone could explain her footage, as she's not sure what to do or what was caught on camera.
So that video was from at Shiver Shade One. And essentially, you know, it's talking about an experience a little girl had, but we didn't see anything outside of her running away from something she saw.
Everything that had to be with little kids is so scary. I don't know.
Yeah, but this one wasn't that creepy.
No.
No, it wasn't at all. So let's look at video 4.
Your name, Christy? Who's touching Lynn? Do you think you're still alive? I smell perfume. Who am I smelling? Me. There's definitely a woman in here. Because a woman keeps coming across the spirit box. But I keep smelling like a perfume. The woman, can you crawl in bed with me? Oh, right here. Loud banging right next to me. Something's literally moving right here. Where? Right here. What's down there?
Looks like a wicker seat and a desk.
Where something sat there. Something moved right here.
There's a shoe, 2 shoes, like tennis shoes.
But I smelled like, you remember how like when we first walked in here, even this last time before I laid down, how heavy it was and warm?
Yeah.
Feel how colder it is in here and it's easier to breathe?
Yeah.
But I kept getting a female voice and I smell perfume right here.
Man, it feels cool around here. I mean, my...
Whoa. At this point, I can clearly see a dark mass move from the side of the bed over to where Rocky was standing.
Around here. I mean, my...
Whoa. I seen something.
Something just grabbed my foot.
I told you there was something there.
It just grabbed my leg. Cool around here. I mean, my...
Whoa.
Wow. So that one is from TJ Supernatural TV at TJ Supernatural TV, and basically they experience they're experienced ghost hunters. They're doing a ghost hunt, and they're hearing these strange moaning sounds and things are happening, and boom, they get attacked by some supernatural entity.
That's one of my biggest fear that ever happened to, you know, like
Well, we're in for a treat because we're going paranormal hunting soon. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting experience, and the fact that they documented that experience makes it all the worthwhile. I think video number 5 is our last one.
Yeah, man, check out this dope shit. Like, yeah.
So that was from @Kausty_Kyle. Yeah, they had some music in the background, but these same people are hunting jinns. That video actually is longer, and I think I just put the wrong one in. But basically, there's a jinn in the staircase looking at it.
oh my god.
And when they see it, they run after it. But that concludes our paranormal segment, which now we should go back to our group scene and talk about something, right? Like my favorite movie. So me and Frank, we talk about, you know, horror stuff and our childhood growing up and things that we thought were super cool. And one of the things that we thought was awesome was the movie The Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys.
What made it so cool, right? The scene, you know, the cast.
The cast was a great cast.
Yeah, right. You had you had one of the Coreys. You had the Coreys there, the two Coreys.
A lot of them they're still doing
Kiefer
movies.
Sutherland? Yeah.
Keith Sutherland is great. Yeah.
I think it's Jason Patrick plays Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Kiefer Sutherland is the badass, and basically this movie what became a cult phenomenon. Now, what people don't know about this movie is that it wasn't supposed to be a vampire movie.
It was supposed to be a comedy movie.
It was supposed to be a Peter Pan type movie.
Oh, really?
About the Lost Boys.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of the kids in Peter Pan.
Yeah, the Lost Boys.
So eventually the movie had great success. But the storytelling was great. They go to Santa Carla, which is an actual real location in California. And basically they moved there. They were up on their luck, so they had to go stay at their uncle's house, I believe. And they had the two brothers and the dog named Nanook, which was a husky, right? They moved there and they're trying to figure themselves out, and they run into a group of what appears to be hooligans, right? And these hooligans are vampires.
They got big fangs.
They're only noodles, Michael. So the whole thing is they're trying to. There's a girl named Star, and Michael seems interested, and the vampire group has some kind of control over Star and the little child that's with Star. Essentially they end up, trying to indoctrinate Michael into a vampire, in which he turns into one eventually, but he has to reverse it. And the only way you can reverse it is by killing the head vampire.
Oh, because of the main, gotcha.
Right.
It makes sense.
It was a great movie. So it had a lot of things going for it. One, the cast was amazing. A lot of them did reach success. R.I.P. Corey Haim. He unfortunately he passed away. I mean, he had some troubles in his adult years. But a lot of them became very successful. Storytelling was on point.
Do you prefer to be a vampire or a lichen?
Lichen all day.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm like highest alpha ever.
Like a conscience lichen.
Yeah, like
because a lot of the men werewolves, whatever, they lose like they're not like you know what I mean?
Yeah. But this particular thing is that the Lost Boys resembled the ideal image that we thought a vampire should look like. They were cool, they were edgy, they were bad boys. They ran the show. It's not like Twilight, right? The sunlight hits them, they glow, pretty and shit. No, I'm not with that.
But I don't know if it's true, but I heard in the book it was not like that. I don't know.
No, in the book it was like that. They were very
because when
androgynous.
There were two things that I didn't like about the Twilight movie. One was the wolf people. They used to be like not like lichens.
They were actual wolves. They were just overgrown wolves.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but again, it's a sign of the times, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that the two movies in our time, 80s, was The Howling and Lost Boys. That was like, this is what a vampire and a werewolf should look like.
You know which one I like a lot? Underworld.
Underworld was pretty good.
That was good.
I
didn't really like the last one though. The last one, they end up killing Michael.
Yeah.
And he was like the first hybrid thing.
Yeah.
Man, they shouldn't.
So I think The Lost Boys was the very first vampire movie that kind of gave the idea of what vampires should look and feel like organically, right? Like,
yeah. It says here, when a recently divorced mother and her two teenager boys moved to a coastal town to stay with her father, it doesn't take long for the brothers to realize the area is a heaven for something much more sinister than party-going surfers.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was a lot of catchphrases there. The Frog Brothers. Hey, they're the two brothers that worked at the comic book shop, right? And basically they're trying to tell Michael's brother the younger one, Corey Haim. He's trying to tell him, "Yo, read this comic, and it's Dracula." Right? He goes, "I don't read that.
How to kill,
How to kill vampires."
and stuff.
You know, or the vampire that got shot with the bow and arrow. It's like, "You missed, sucker." He goes, "Only one time, pal." Boom. Right now, so there was a lot of memorable moments. Even the part where they kill one of the vampires inside the cave, and Corey Haim is going up the cave. The light hits him. He starts catching, like he starts burning, and you could see the tear coming out of his eye. Like, wow, like
They don't make movies like that. Like,
no, they don't.
Like that's like the Goonies.
Yeah,
it's the same style with vampires. You know,
It's
kind of. You know what I mean?
It's the mystique. It's the allure. It's
adventure.
and believe it or not, it's not cosmetics, because today's generation they fall for what we call eye candy, special effects, CG.
Yeah.
These movies had that, but they were emphasizing the storytelling, and the musical pieces were really good.
Really good.
Like, I always tell people, you can watch a movie, but if the audio sucks, that's it. You're not gonna be too engaged.
Or the music. Sometimes the music.
Yeah,
too,
I mean,
they don't like
the Lost Boys soundtrack was fire, right? Even Goonies, like their film score, the entire film score was great. You know what I mean? It's ambient. It had this mystique of finding treasure, but specific to the Lost Boys, it was edgy. It was hard hitting. It was good. And you have Tim Capello, the guy with the saxophone. I still believe. Remember that shit? That shit was great, bro. Like everybody wanted to play saxophone after watching that guy. Because I thought when I was a kid, if I look like him and I'm playing a saxophone, I'm gonna get all the girls.
You know, one of my sisters used to play it. My middle, one in the middle, my sister.
But
shout out to you, whatever you are.
So yeah, so
It was
Lost
good
Boys
on
was a great movie. It's a good, sit back. Well, it's old already, right? It's how old is it now? Right? It's like 20, 30, 40 years old.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, what I tell people is if you haven't seen it, sit down, grab a bucket of popcorn, and enjoy it. I mean, it is great. I've seen it multiple times, and it never gets old to me.
That's what I was gonna say. That there's old movies out there that they don't
die.
They don't age. They don't age. Like they like Terminator 2. I can see that movie all the time. This one too. There's type of movie that I will watch it anytime. Like it doesn't matter. I've seen it a couple of times or whatever.
For me, it was Death Wish.
With
Charles Bronson. But yeah, but I thought it was overall Lost Boys. It was a kick-ass movie, and this is just one of those things we wanted to make conversation pieces that were away from the cryptid, but we could talk about like stuff within the genre of horror and stuff like that. So, yep, watch the Lost Boys. By the way, they have two other parts that came out years later. The Tribe was one of them. The other one I don't remember. I didn't see it. I didn't like it personally. I'm a very careful about remakes or sequels too many years apart. Doesn't work.
Well, Top Gun was good.
No, I mean, but that's different. It's military stuff, right? Like that doesn't age bad, right? But it's time to move to our final segment, and that is our creepy stuff. Quick disclaimer. You know what? Let's go to the creepy stuff, and then we'll talk about quick disclaimer stuff.
There you go.
They're only noodles, Michael. All right, guys. So, creepy stuff. Today's creepy stuff is very controversial in the sense that it touches on topics of religion, and we want to make sure that we express viewer discretion is advised. This is just what we've discovered, and these are conversational pieces that we just want to talk about after we air the video. So this specific piece is on the angels, and we call it part one because it'll be broken down into three parts. Part one, the choirs, is a really a brief discussion on angels, the hierarchy, right, on the three groupings that they fall into, and the subdivisions of each angel. We're going to start with the lower half.
Gotcha.
Those lower halves: angels, archangels, and the principalities. Now, the video does not go into great detail because, again, this is a discussion piece. We're going to watch the video, give you a brief explanation. Hopefully you like what you see, and then we talk about it. Now, when we speak about angels, there is the angels that you were brought up in, Renaissance period artwork, Valentine's Day cherubs, right? And then there is what's depicted in the Bible, what we think is possible, right? And then there is other questions like, what if they're not angels? What if they're otherworldly beings that resemble angels, but they're not? They're like alien in nature, right? So we're going into that realm, right? Again, none of this is factual. It's our interpretation of what we discovered, and we share it with you. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to embrace it. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. Very, very, very frank about that. Because our goal is not to offend, but we always bring out whatever we discover, and it's for your entertainment only. That's it. All right. So without further ado, watch the video if you're interested, and then we're going to go into the conversation.
Yep. Let's watch it.
Angels, depicted as human-like figures with wings and a halo-esque type aura that emits throughout their heads. There are many different types of angels though, and of course they fall into hierarchies that we know as choirs, totaling 9 of them. Today, we're going to discuss the lower 3, or the ones closest to humans. They are called angels, archangels, and the principalities. Angels are depicted as winged human-like creatures that are here to serve one purpose, and that's to protect whoever they've been assigned to by the highest one. They also serve another purpose, and that's to relay an important message to an individual that is sent from the Lord himself. Archangels are the protectors of the heavenly realm against the demonic forces. They fight the wars that no one can see in terms of the humans, and they also make sure that they follow whatever instructions God orders them. The principalities report to the dominions, which is a higher order of angels. The principalities are like the leaders. Their job is to make sure that they regulate and control society or the other angels beneath them. This then led me to question, what if angels were otherworldly beings? What would they look like? The prophet Ezekiel did describe the several types of angels, and they look nothing like the Renaissance paintings. Actually, they're a lot scarier than we think. Here are some images that we've created using AI of what we think based on the information we've gathered of what angels can look like. And in the words of the angels when they make their grand appearance to the humans, be not afraid. So, angels.
That was a beautiful video, J Rock. I mean, once again, the IT department, shout out to them. They're doing an excellent job. Oh, I know you are the head of that department. I really appreciate the video. Was amazing.
We do the best we can with what we got.
Yeah.
You know. So, angels. They're broken down into 9 choirs, and those 9 choirs are segmented into groups of 3. The highest order are the angels that are closer to God. The middle order is the bridge between the two, and they do serve a function. And the lowest order is the one closest to us, the humans. They each have, each particular angel species has a role, a responsibility, and a function. So the first thing I came to figure out is that in the Bible, the book of Ezekiel starts, I believe it's in verse 10. Right, chapter 1, verse 10. He's describing one of the angels. Well, verse 10, 11, 12, and all the way, I think it's to 13 or 14. But he's describing these angels in different forms, and they're using names, right? So those names are associated with each angel type. Let me just open the picture. Let me just go here and add an image, because I think this is very beneficial to everyone, for everyone to see. I played it in the video, but it was small. Inch. Okay, so I am going to shrink this image.
Oh, perfect. I got the same one too.
So I'm going to shrink this image here. Make sure that it's in its proper place. And let me just minimize this creepy stuff. All right, so here we have. So the top order of angels is seraphim, cherubim, and thrones.
Yeah.
And what you're looking at is the actual depiction of what they described them to look like. Right? Based on the description that Ezekiel provided. Then you have the dominions, the powers, and the virtuals, right? And that's their depiction. And of course, you have the principalities, the angels, and the archangels. We covered the lower 3 in that video. We gave very brief descriptions. So I'm going to turn the table to you, because you're very passionate about this subject, and just share your thoughts.
It says in Christianity, principalities are angels that guide and protect nations, group of people, and institutions like the church. They are also responsible for overseeing bands of angels and making sure they fulfill their divine ministry.
So in the hierarchy, they rank 3rd from lowest. So number 1 is angels, then archangels, then principalities. So that's like a leadership role in the lower hierarchy of the angels. They're kind of like the overseer, right? What do you think about the view of the principality? Was that an accurate depiction based on what we did with AI?
Oh yeah. On the book of Daniel, apparently there's a very important verse that kind of explained and let you know more about how powerful a principality is.
Okay.
Yeah, because Daniel, he asked for a petition to God, right? And he was fasting for 21 days, and he will not get that answer from God. And when the angel finally came after 20 days of him being fasting, came with the answer or the message to Daniel, he told them that I was held by the prince of Persia, and Saint Michael, the archangel, have to come and help him Apparently, that angel that was coming with a message to Daniel was held by the prince of Persia, and of course, it's not a prince; it's a principality,
Right.
because a prince or a king cannot. We're not talking about humans over here. So he was held by the principality, and Saint Michael, the angel, has to come to help him out. That way, he can like kind of like, well, I'll fight for you. Let me fight for you, and I'll go deliver the message. And then when you finish, you can come back and. Keep
So the
fighting with it.
principality is not just the leader; he's like the political head of the lower
Of the-
level of the angels. And then you said the archangel. So what is the archangel? Right? It's the fighter. It's the
fighter.
warrior
It's the warrior.
that goes in and does the dirty work.
Mhm,
Right?
mhm.
Which leads
Is the
to
leader
question.
of the army like Saint Michael? Is it like the angel of God?
Isn't Gabriel?
No, it's Michael is the strongest. Yeah,
He's the strongest.
Gabriel is more like a messenger type.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but all angels deliver messages. They also have that function.
Yeah.
So just so you know, in the Bible, they're also described as humans as well.
Mm-hmm,
You know, and they are there to deliver a message from God, and then they disappear into the
No,
nothing.
there's a verse in the Bible that says that when you talk to strangers, like to be polite because you never know if you're entertaining an angel. You know what I mean?
Right.
It says pretty much like that. And I'm paraphrasing over here. Of course, I don't know the verse of the Bible from my mind. I'm not a Bible thumper. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's a verse that it says that be careful who you talk to and try to be like polite and nice because you never know who you're talking to. pretty
So
much.
so then that leads to the very first order, which is angels.
Mhm.
So it is believed, and based on that, every human being has a guardian angel assigned to them.
Yeah.
And this angel is not just there to deliver the message, but to provide guidance and to try to their very best to steer you clear from harmful things and sin and things of that nature. So they kind of are the very the very description of what you call a spirit entity that's with you forever, even when you're gone.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
My take on this ideas, not my personal favorite, but one, they can be extraterrestrial beings.
Yeah.
You know, there are stories that coincide that are not canon to the Bible. They call them hermetic texts that kind of depicts other beings from other planets or other galaxies um, that do exist.
The thing is, when you're saying that, a lot of people find it shocking. But actually, what you're saying is the truth because even Jesus said it. My kingdom is not of this world. So he's stating it right. It's a statement right that my kingdom is not of this world. So they're
but-
not from this world. You know what I mean?
So my problem with that is that when people say my kingdom is not of this world, they interpret it as something beyond sci-fi. Because
Exactly.
they pocket things into silos, right? So
Yeah.
when you speak of a location like heaven or heavenly, it's something supernatural, not part of that same dynamic. They don't mix the two, right?
Yeah.
My thought on it is that it is a possibility that that there are other beings that are way more advanced technologically, spiritually, and physically that can achieve the same features.
Yeah.
Not feats, but features that resemble that of an alien. There are stories that are out there where people have visions and they, what they saw wasn't an angel. It was this alien-like entity that resembled
Yeah.
one. So that's why we presented different variations of what angels are perceived as. Not to say that that's exactly what they are. However, in Ezekiel, right, the description is very terrifying. These beings have a lot of eyes all over their body. Some of them have four heads.
Foreheads.
Right,
yeah.
the head of a lion, the head of an ox, the head of an eagle, and a human face. And then their wings are not even two; they're 4 and 6, depending on the hierarchy. And then you have one that's a wheel.
Mm-hmm.
They call it thrones. It's a wheel with eyes, and we're going to touch on that and provide greater detail. But the whole thing about eyes everywhere, right?
They're
It's kind
watching.
of symbolic that I am omnipresent. I
Um,
can see past, present, and future.
Exactly.
I can see everything literally.
Mhm.
But more importantly, the eyes represent. They can see you in your truest form, your flaws, your right, your wrong,
Gotcha.
your spirit, right? This is one of those things where I have a great respect for, but it always piqued my curiosity. I just always ask the question, what if? Right? And all in all, the lower tier the lower tier angels are not represented correctly in in the Renaissance period,
Gotcha.
right? So for me, um, sorry, that was a message that we got. So for me, I think that the angels, as predicted in the Renaissance, may have some validity to it, but I don't think it's all.
I think that picture that we have there is more maybe more accurate. You know what I mean? With some stuff. I heard that the evil one he used to be a cherubim. I'm not
Who's the
quite
evil?
sure.
Lucifer.
Yeah,
Yes.
he used to be a cherubim.
So there's some. So there's some that only sing.
Yeah.
Right. So for example, there are descriptions of some of these angels only having a face,
Mhm.
and they have like four wings, and it covers the rest of whatever they're supposed to look like, and only their face shows, and they sing this hymn.
Yeah.
And that's all they do is sing this hymn. Yeah, it's just a lot of like, it's weird. It's
It is.
beautiful, but it's weird at the same time, because what we were taught was that angels are little fat, chubby little
Yeah.
things
Okay.
with arrows, right? The Renaissance period, these are arts from Da Vinci and Michelangelo
Mhm.
Caravaggio and the such, right? That they predict them as humans with beautiful flowing locks and wings. And the cool thing about it, though, is that if you look at Leonardo da Vinci's paintings,
There's some UFOs.
there's
behind.
UFOs in the background and some of these anointed beings.
Maybe they were
Right?
thrones. Maybe
You
they
know,
were
so-
thrones.
So it is very possible that I'm just throwing it out there. It's very possible if Da Vinci brought it out there.
He knew something.
He knew, and this guy was brilliant beyond.
He was ahead of his time.
No, this ahead of your time, but there's people who were so far ahead that they shaped a
The
whole
time
whole period.
frame, yeah.
That guy shaped the whole period. His inventions were amazing. And to this day, a lot of his inventions are still practiced and utilized. And he did more with less, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
We have technology. We can build stuff,
Mhm.
right? This guy had just brain. He was all brain and wood for the most part.
What if the thrones is a spaceship? We don't know.
Yeah, I
And
mean, so what is it that the Hindu texts,
the Mahabharata,
they call it Vimanas, right?
Vimanas. Yeah.
Vimanas. What if that's the chariot or
The
and
chariot.
it's an angel?
There's a book called The Chariot of the Gods.
Yeah, that was by Eric von Daniken.
Mhm.
And he talks about but that's really more about the ancient
Yeah, ancient,
astronauts.
aliens.
But he does mention, to your point, that there are these spacecrafts that are
Yeah.
like described as angelic beings, but they're not. They were spacecraft, right?
Yeah.
So it just really created, depending on the culture you follow, your religious ideals, everything that we present to you looks completely different,
Completely.
right? But here's one constant: they all kind of had the same purpose.
They're somewhere somehow they're all aligned in some stuff.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like we don't know who has the right truth. You know what I mean? But they're all aligned. In somewhere somehow. Pyramids, the Greek gods, the Egyptians, the ancient alien stuff. With what we got here, like there's always these messengers that's come from somewhere else, a different plane, a different world,
a different level of existence.
Yeah, they just pop up from nowhere, deliver a message. Like in some other religions, like Catholic religion, they see the Virgin, and the Virgin comes with a message. You know what I mean? And sometimes there are prophecies that happen to be and happen.
And you know what throws me off? I was thinking about it. Why would an angel's first words every time they see a human is,
Don't be afraid.
"Be not afraid"?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're all angelic and you're as beautiful as they say you are, there's no reason for a person to be afraid. I would be struck in awe of your presence. I would know what you are if you looked exactly. So I would be, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's an angel, right? Be not afraid would imply that what you're seeing is terrifying, but don't be afraid because I'm here to send you a message or
Yes.
I'm here to deliver you from a problem.
Same thing happened to the Virgin Mary when I think it was Gabriel that
Yeah.
delivered the message to her that she was gonna have the Son of God,
Right.
and he told them the same thing. Don't be afraid. You know what I mean?
Right. So yeah, angels are very interesting. Yes, they are romanticized. That's something that I learned through the Renaissance pieces of art, which are beautiful, by the way.
And even today, it's like the movie City of Angels.
yeah.
You ever watch the movie?
Yeah.
It's a great movie. You know.
You know, I just think that the reality is a lot more shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say cruel, but it's a lot more shocking, a lot more terrifying. For example, there was is a keeper, and I just, oh my God, I had his name. Not Malachi. There's a keeper, and he's described, he's the keeper of all the books of all the humans that ever lived and all the angels. And he knows when you start, when you end. Right? It's similar to the Akashic records. But the way they describe him is a whole bunch of tongues and a whole bunch of eyes put together.
Oh wow.
Right? So this is the Bible, bro. Like, this is not,
Yeah.
you know, I can't say that every single biblical text from different religions
Mhm.
describe the same thing, but in my culture, it's described as I'm saying it. So,
Yeah.
So for those of you who are interested, look it up. Again, this is one of those discussion sessions. It is not meant to offend. It is just something we found interesting. However, religion is beautiful. Our beliefs are still the same. They don't alter. We just present the facts, or we present our facts as we see it, and we dare to go and show you something that might not question, but might incite intrigue.
Claro que sí. Oh yeah.
Right. So that concludes our segment on angels. And let's go back to our group scene. So all in all, it was a good episode.
Wow. That's a lot to say there, right? That's crazy. Man. Good job. Good job.
Well, I hope you guys liked the videos. Hope you guys like the segments that we covered. Yeah, it's not always pleasing and entertainment. For example, I kind of dislike cryptids, but we have to do the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Any words you want to impart?
No, I think it was a great discussion. You know what I mean? I know we don't know. We just follow history. We just find our information through different books, text, internet. You know what I mean? We try to bring you the most accurate stuff possible. You know, we try to talk with respect about this stuff. I don't want to offend anybody. But yeah, I mean, I think what we discussed today here is very interesting, and I think is that's our belief, right? That's what we think about it. And when we say extraterrestrial, doesn't mean that it's like
A little green man with antennas.
Exactly.
It's an otherworldly being.
Otherworldly being. It's even described in the Bible, like
Yeah.
God is in the third heaven. Sometimes it's in 8 or 10, whatever. Different. There's a lot of heavens.
Yeah.
You know, it's far. And even in the book of Enoch, when he went, he didn't die. He went with them.
He was the only human that ascended to heaven.
Ascended, yeah.
I think that was in large part because when he went to the future and came back, his time period was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Which
he
is
described planets, universe, the heaven. He described the heavens entirely, and there's a big description of it.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know. It's
So-
very interesting.
Yeah. All right. So we are done for the day. Just a friendly reminder, September 18th at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
8 p.m. is going to be our special, followed by the Sunday episode of Distorted Realities Live. And I think that it's going to be a good special.
Oh yeah.
Podcast session.
We're gonna be with Mr. Valentine.
We're going to talk about Christmas, Krampus, evil elves, and the sort, and make a good show out of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So without further ado, I just want to say thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for giving us feedback. Those of you that were on the chat,
Yeah.
And yeah, anything you want to say to the folks before we
I
go?
want to give a shout out to Liliana. That's my sister. I just find out. The one that used to play the saxophone, right?
Yeah.
And
I still believe.
shout out to Jacob Castro, you know. Shout out to Dante. Shout out to Corrali Sotero. Shout out to everybody that was watching us in different social medias and platforms.
Yeah, Facebook and Twitch.
Shout out to what was the Korea? What was Korea? Oh, Vietnam. Shout out to Vietnam.
Vietnam.
There
Yes.
you go.
Number one
Yeah.
viewer.
And yeah, I mean, thank you for the show. Let me go to the Telemundo part. Gracias a todos los que estaban viendo y apoyándonos. Saben que pueden llamarnos 904-803-7327. Pueden checar nuestro merch en el canal de YouTube. Hoy se tocó muchos temas interesantes. La semana que viene vamos hasta el miércoles. El domingo no vamos a estar, así que pendiente. Y nada, gracias por el apoyo, el support. Se les agradece mucho. Y aquí los dejo con Mr. J Rock.
All right, guys. So with that being said, thank you. A great rest of your week, and I will see you Wednesday. Peace out.
This show is produced by J Rock and Frank Walls. Audio and music by Alex Otero. Art and design by Corrales Otero. See you next week, and remember, the truth is out there.